Hi everyone, my name is Lisa Aragon. Today we'll be presenting on conflict and group communication.
How it functions and impacts group effectiveness.
Conflict is a natural part of group interaction. It happens when people have different ideas, perspectives, or goals. And conflict isn't always a negative thing. It can actually help groups grow when it is handled the right way and with the right steps. Conflict functions as a way to bring attention to issues within a group. It encourages discussion and can improve decision making instead of avoiding it. Conflict can help groups identify problems and work towards solutions. There are different types of conflict. Task conflict becomes focusing on disagreements about the work itself. Process conflict is about how the work should be done. And relationship conflict is more personal and emotional. Another way to understand conflict is through substantive and effective conflict. Substantive conflict is about tasks, ideas, or issues and is often positive. Effective conflict is based on emotions or personal differences. It is often harmful because it can create tension within the group. People respond to conflict in different ways. These styles include avoiding, accommodating, competing, compromising, and collaborating. Now, what are these actual conflict styles? And the way that we solve these problems is by understanding them.
Accommodating is when a group member gives in to the other members in the group at the expense of their own ideas and goals. People who are accommodating genuinely desire to get along with everyone in the group, and they'll give in to serve the needs of everyone else in the group rather than whatever you have to say or think might benefit from further discussion. Competing is when members of a group are more focused on competing with their own personal goals rather than collaborating with everyone else in the group to achieve that group's common goal together. Someone who is competitive wants to win and will argue their ideas that they're better than everyone else's. Compromising, this is sometimes called the give and take approach. No one gets everything they want, but everyone in the group will get something. A collaborative trade-off strategy that implies the group is being practical rather than idealistic to move forward. Now, unlike compromising, collaborating seeks to expand the options so that everyone's needs are fully met. This is the most common academic term for seeking a solution where all interests are integrated into that final result. So this next slide is about problem solving in groups. So we identify the problem. Before we can search for a cure for anything, we have to accurately diagnose. Most groups often fail at this part because they end up treating symptoms rather than going after the root causes. You need to generate possible solutions. I like to call this the brainstorming stage. This is where you can conduct a structured session to brainstorm all together. Make sure you're brainstorming all ideas, good or bad. We need to consider those in the conversation. You never know when someone's bad idea might end up sparking something amazing. Then we need to evaluate our options. We need to filter that brainstormed material and we need to filter it through a lens of reality. So when we're moving from that creative anything goes phase of a project to the more practical execution phase, there's going to be several ways that we have to describe that transition and how we're going to evaluate those options. And then finally, we need to choose and implement a solution. So a solution is only as good as it's executed, right? So we need to select the best fit for who, what, and when responsibilities. Then we set up a follow-up to check in and evaluate if that solution is actually working or if that cycle needs to be restarted. For our conclusion, when these three elements interact effectively, a group moves from being a collection of individuals to a high-performing team. Conflict is a normal part of group work. It's a sign of engagement. Without conflict, a group will often fall into groupthink, and this is where the desire for harmony overrides critical evaluation. Effective problem solving helps manage conflict. This serves as a safeguard, ensuring productive debate doesn't devolve into personal friction. And finally, strong communication leads to successful group outcomes. Strong communication isn't just about talking, it's about the quality of exchange between each other. So allowing for a safe space and actively listening are two traits that allow for strong communication. Having this strong communication and these elements together is going to, again, create an outcome that you never thought would be possible.
So what did we learn? Well, the importance of clear communication. Setting expectations early and studying, taking accountability when needed, and working through challenges instead of avoiding them. We learn that communication is key in any group setting.
And that flexibility is important when working with different personalities and schedules.
As well, with accountability, that helps people like us to stay on track and complete our work effectively.
Yes, it does.